Hey, how's it going? My name is Andy Monroe, and in this video, I'm going to be walking you through how to actually increase the amount of buyers that are attending your events. Yes, of course, you want a full event. You want a lot of people to show up to your event, but you don't want your event filled with just anybody. You want your event filled with buyer units and people that have a high likelihood of actually ascending up your value ladder and buying your offer. Now, over the last 4 years, I have managed and organized dozens of sold out events, anywhere from multi-thousand attendee in-person sales conferences to multi-thousand attendee virtual events. And we have learned a few things about filling events, but we definitely learned a very valuable lesson early on that if you fill your event with non-buyer units, you are not going to see a very good return on investment with your events. So when you are marketing your event, you want to make sure you are speaking to your buyer units and getting buyers in the seats, and that's what I'm going to be walking you through in this video. Now, before we actually dive into the weeds, I want to define a term for you, and that term is a buyer unit. And buyer units are what you want in the seats of your events. But what is a buyer unit? A buyer unit is your ICP or your avatar who is not already a part of the program that you're pitching at your event. So for example, let's say you have 100 people at your event. 25 of them are already inside of your program. So maybe you're selling a high ticket mastermind that helps people with Facebook ads. 25 people at your event are already inside of that program. 75 people are not. That means you have 75 buyer units at your event. These are people that are capable of buying your offer and ascending up the value ladder. That being said, these people are only buyer units if they are your ICP. That's a very important aspect of a buyer unit. It must be your ICP or your ideal avatar, whatever term you use for it. Now, if you are unfamiliar with what an ICP is or what an avatar is, an ICP really just stands for your ideal client profile. And your ideal client profile, this is just the person that you're serving. Whoever's problem you're solving, whoever you are building your program or your offer for, that is your ICP. And those are the people that you want in the seats of your events. And a hard truth that comes with events is that anyone who is sitting in the seats of your events that isn't your ICP, they are not a buyer unit and they're most likely not going to buy your product. And you wouldn't want that anyways. First of all, it's just unethical. You don't want to sell your product to somebody that you can't actually serve and you can't help. But also you don't want them to buy your product because they're going to be a headache. The people that you sell that aren't your ICP are usually the ones that are complaining, they're confused, they reach out to you, they're upset about something, and they usually end up refunding anyways. So if you want to increase the conversions at your events and increase the ROI you see from your events, you want to fill up your event with as many buyer units as possible, which means you want to fill up your event with your ICP. So how do you actually do this? Well, I hate to break it to you, but there's no Facebook ad setting or email campaign template or funnel template that's going to help you get more buyers into the seats of your events. It really just comes down to the messaging and the positioning of your event. When you are marketing your event, you want to be speaking to your ICP. You want to be speaking to their pain points. You want to paint a clear picture of their current situation and the desired outcome that they're trying to achieve. You want to speak to the problems that they're experiencing, what their desires are, what their goals are. All of the messaging and marketing and positioning of your event should be catered directly to and for your ICP. This will help you create an event that draws in buyer units and people that are actually capable of buying your offer. Something that's important to point out is that you do want to include your ICP, but you also want to exclude your non-ICP. So your non-ICP is your non-ideal client profile. It's somebody that you're not serving, somebody who your event and your offer and your content is not built for, and you're not solving this person's problems. Of course, you don't want these people to attend your event, but if you build your event and the messaging to serve everybody and you're trying to talk to everybody and get as many people as possible to come and attend your event, it's likely that a lot of non-ICP clients are going to be showing up to your event, which takes seats away from buyer units. The way that you exclude your non-ICP is the same way that you attract your ICP, which is through the messaging and positioning of your event. You want it to be positioned as an event that's only for your ICP, but you can also just be straight up in the messaging and say, this event is not for blank, blank, and blank. For example, there's a lot of people out there that are looking for get-rich-quick schemes or quick ways to make money online. But if your business model is an actual real business model that takes a long time to get to work and you have to do a lot of iterations, you have to do a lot of work on it, maybe you say this event is not built for people who want a get-rich-quick scheme or want something that's easy that makes you money fast. This is for people who are ready to put in the work and experience a little bit of delayed gratification. Whatever your criteria is, you want to speak directly to your ICP and include them, and you want to exclude your non-ICP and people that aren't buyer units. And what's interesting is is that when you start to exclude your non-ICP, that begins to draw in your ICP a little bit more, because people are always looking for ways to connect with like-minded people, and it feels like they have already passed this barrier of entry and they see something, that this event that's built for them, and it's not built for these people, but it's built specifically for them, that will draw in your ICP and make them want to attend your event even more. An advanced strategy that you can try out for your events as well is actually making them application only, meaning people have to apply to attend your event. If this is the case, this will already most likely push away most of your non-ICP, but if you want to actually read through the applications and make sure people that are attending your event are your ICP and good buyer units, you can make them apply and make sure that you read through the criteria and see that they are a good fit for your event. At the end of the day, you don't just want a full room, you want a room that's filled with your ICP and filled with buyer units. If your event is filled with randoms, it's going to kill your ROI, but if it's filled with buyer units and your ICP, it's going to increase your ROI and increase the conversion that you see at your events. But all of that aside, you just want to be serving the people that you are meant to serve. If you have people that aren't your ICP in your events and you're selling your product to people that aren't your ICP, you aren't properly serving and diagnosing them. If you want to increase your impact in the transformation that your attendees are experiencing, you want to make sure the right people are in the room that are built for that experience and that the experience is built for them as well. All right, that's all I have for you today. I know that was a short one, but if you have any questions about getting more buyers into the seats of your events, make sure to drop them down below. Also, if you are a coach or consultant that is currently hosting events and not seeing the results that you want, or you're a coach or consultant that wants to start hosting events but you don't know where to start, make sure you click the link down below in my description. I have a lot of free resources for you. And as always, if you could like this video and subscribe, that would really help me out. We're a new channel. We're trying to get this in front of as many eyeballs as possible. So hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video.